Phase 3 of the US 20 project began construction in May on the unfinished segment of a new 5.5-mile section of highway that will bypass 10 miles of current US 20, twisting and turning west of Eddyville. The new alignment cuts through the Oregon Coast Range, home to active landslides. And this 2-year phase of construction is all about reducing the slide movement along the new roadway while continuing to monitor hundreds of instruments collecting ground data. By August, approximately 80 workers and more than 50 pieces of heavy equipment were ramped up, moving 100,000 cubic yards of earth per week to fill the valleys of 4 major drainages along the project, where plans for bridges had been scrapped due to continued landslide activity. Lowering the roadway elevation by 20 feet also eliminates weight that can affect slide activity. At Eddy Creek, the exposed bridge columns indicate how much soil has been excavated this season. These columns, remnants of the former bridges, were buried when Phase 3 began.
You see some pile, some steel bridge pile that's sticking up. That pile will be gone, and the elevation of the road will be a little bit lower than where the machines are working now across from us. But when it's all said and done, this will be completely full of embankment, compacted and ready for a roadway.
Blasts are conducted once or twice a week, creating 5,000 to 10,000 cubic yards of rubble, contributing substantially to the 500,000 cubic yards of earth and rock placed so far this season, and the 2.4 million cubic yards of earth to be moved during the entire 2-year phase. At the bottom of Eddy C, the fill is spread and compacted, building the embankment that will both buttress a landslide and provide the base of the new highway's final alignment. At the end of this first season, the embankment will be as high as that pink ribbon, some 260 to 280 feet, slightly more than half of its 320-foot elevation at completion. During the winter, ground monitoring sensors will tell engineers how the landslide beneath is responding to the weight of the embankments at all 4 creeks, giving them knowledge that will fine-tune the project's final design. It's part of the project's observational approach.
As part of the observational approach, the engineers would like to monitor the data over the wintertime to confirm that the assumptions that they made are correct.
It's an early warning system with data that helps engineers pinpoint where and how to address slide movement. Such observation recently alerted engineers to the need to design an expanded buttress at Crystal Creek. After the data indicated new movement below an embankment, engineers moved quickly to adjust the project design and include the changes to the work currently underway. The system allows the project to take the development in stride with no impact on the completion date. Phase 3 construction also includes the construction of more than 400 ground anchors. Some 167 are currently under construction at Eddy C. Drills are used to bore 100 feet or more into the slide area, where steel cables are grouted, secured, then tensioned to concrete pads at the surface. The earth is then held in place by rows of the ground anchors, a technique that resists a slide without the size of a rock buttress, a perfect combination to minimize environmental impacts. The US 20 project's Phase 3 construction will use all the tools available to mitigate landslides, removing weight by lowering the roadway, buttressing the landslides with rock and ground anchors, and relieving water pressure that triggers slide activity by installing another 20 miles of horizontal drains, adding to the horizontal drains, trench drains, and blanket drains from earlier phases of construction. By continuing its observational approach to data and design, the project stays nimble, ready to act quickly, and flexible, ready to modify designs to keep the project on budget and on track for traffic in 2016.